Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog is about my user experience with the Xpulse 200. I have the 2V version. Before I start, I got to tell you that this may sound like a bit of a rant, if you will. Previously to owning this bike, I have been a bulleteer for almost 1.5 decades. I still have my Bullet 350cc standard. My reason for shifting into the Hero ecosystem was I wanted something with lesser vibrations as compared to my Bullet. On my Bullet, if I do a 7 hour to 8 hour ride, I would have pain on my shoulders and my neck. So I wanted something which had lesser vibrations. So I tried out the new Bullets as well as the Xpulse 200, and I felt that the Xpulse had a better price to performance ratio as compared to the new Bullets. At least that is what I felt at the time, and I was also drawn into the fact that Hero has such a huge and robust dealer network. For me, that equated to better after sales service, and I also felt Hero didn't have spares availability issues, which I have seen in Royal Enfields. And so I took the plunge. I got into the Hero ecosystem, and this is my honest experience of owning this bike for 1.5 year. I kind of have mixed feelings when I think about my experience with this bike. I like the way it rides. It does ride really well, especially in off-roading conditions, no question about that. And for touring, it is okay. I mean, if you are happy to cruise at around 80 to 90, this bike will do. I feel Hero has used poor quality of components in the bike. My main issue is the rear suspension. When the rear shocker fails, the bike becomes very wobbly, even on plain roads, and at decent speed, the bike feels very unstable. And the rear suspension, in my case, has failed twice in 1.5 year, and I have not even done 6,000 kilometers. I'm yet to cross 6,000 kilometers when this happened. And funny thing is, they don't have adequate spares. I had to wait for more than a month for a replacement to arrive in Sibsagar. The service center in Sibsagar seemed so casual that I had to raise a complaint in the call center regarding this issue. And a day after I raised the complaint, they called me up asking me to come over to the service center to get the defective part replaced. Okay, this is the condition that I'm getting the product. It's rusted. I don't know whether it's new or not. Difficult to say whether it's new or not. So after 10 days, the suspension failed again, and this time I got a new suspension. What I think really happened is the service center, in order to close the service request, the complaint that I had put up in the call center, in order to close that, they swapped a defective spare onto my bike. I had complained to them then that the spare didn't look new, but they said it was new, and I had to believe them. So this really dented my confidence in the service center, as well as the durability of the components used. So what I did was I wrote a mail to Hero regarding this issue. I wanted certain answers regarding like what is the durability of the rear shockers in terms of kilometers. I did not get any written response, but someone from Hero did call me up, and they said that there was a 5-year warranty on the spares here on this rear shocker. And I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't get it. What is the point of owning an off-roader when your suspension is that fragile? It fails 2 times within 6,000 kilometers, and that too within the city limits. I haven't had the opportunity to go out on real off-roading conditions. It doesn't make sense to own a bike where your suspension fails every now and then. What is the point of having a 5-year warranty? Is it supposed to make me feel good? I mean, my fear is the suspension might fail on one of my trips to one of the hilly regions and there's no network there. So what will I do with a 5 years warranty then? I want something which is more durable, more reliable. So I feel the quality of equipments, the components used is suspect, a bit suspect in my opinion, especially the rear shocker. If you look on the net, you're going to find hundreds of videos regarding this issue. And the irony is they have named this rear shocker Endurance. I'm a kind of guy who takes good care of my bikes, and to see paint peeling off, in different places, and rubber parts that crack and need replacement, and rusted nuts and bolts is what you would get when you get into this ecosystem. So this is what I meant by poor quality of components used. Another forgettable service experience is when I had gone to Jorhat to get my central stand fixed. By the way, the central stand of this Xpulse 200 arrived after 2 months of me putting up a requisition. And once it arrived, they fixed it with a nail. They didn't have the proper lock pin to fix the central stand. I had to go to the market and get an aftermarket lock pin so that the central stand can be attached. So what I feel is there's a disconnect between what the company's goals, mission statements are and how the service center perceives them and go about their business. Like the central stand, the handlebar risers, the tire pressure checkers, as well as the extra long gear shifter, these took months of constant follow-up with the spares distributors to be available in Sibsagar. Availability of essential spares is still a concern for me. See, I stay in Sibsagar, and Sibsagar is not a village. It is near to two airports. So spares availability shouldn't be an issue here, but there is a huge shortage of spares, as from that at least I can tell you from my experience with Hero here. Another issue which I have with this bike is the gear shifter. The gear shifter, the original gear shifter which I took out, this is too short. I have a foot size of 9, and for me this gear shifter, the original one which comes with the bike, the default one, it is just too narrow to get my foot under the gear lever and shift it. So what I did was I opted for a new shifter which comes with a rally kit, and I got it fixed. And it becomes especially difficult if you're wearing riding boots, especially Orazo boots, which have a kind of a bulbous design. They have a bulb type shape in the front, so that kind of a boot, it's difficult to get under this gear lever. So yeah, I ended up changing the gear shifter. Another issue which I have is the side stand. The side stand is just too weak and flimsy. If you load your bike with your travel essentials, the bike is sure to tilt over. Suppose if you have a tail bag which is weighing around 20 to 25 kgs with your tools and all, your bike is sure to tip over while being parked. It is not long enough, it is not strong enough. And regarding the seat, it is just too uncomfortable for even shorter rides, say half an hour rides. I had to modify the seat in order to make it more comfortable for longer rides. The headlight, the output is really poor. You need to have auxiliary lights, extra lights, or you won't be able to see a thing in the dark, especially on the highway, especially in hilly regions, especially if there's fog on the way. Visibility is very poor with this kind of a headlight, and I feel it is a bit too cool for my liking. I I'm normally used to warmer lights. Okay, now let's come to the mobile charging option available in the bike. The charging option is placed under the seat. Now what happens is, if I want to charge my mobile, which is fixed to the handlebar, which I've attached to the handlebar, I would need another USB cable to be able to charge my mobile. I wish they had somehow made that option available in the handle itself, but that is again wishful thinking. So these are issues that Hero needs to address, I believe. I have had the opportunity to ride the 4V version also. I don't see much of a difference. I mean, like, it is zippier, but light may be a little more powerful than this, but in real life conditions I don't see it making a very huge difference. So this is my user experience, and this is what I feel about the 1.5 year of ownership. And let's see what surprises are in store. I'll keep you informed. Thanks for watching.